I can't believe I'm recording at 5:30 on a Sunday, full glam, going to go out. It feels illegal in my mind, it really does. This week I am going to be doing a like realistic, like what I can read, doing an 8 till 5. I am on holiday this Friday, so I'm excited I can read a bit more, but I wanted to show you guys like what if you wanted to read, like this is how much you can read. And yes, you kind of sometimes put off household duties or like skincare duties, but priorities, you know what I mean, priorities. I usually do read on my lunch break. I have an hour lunch break and usually I read probably 45 minutes, but I'll tell you each day I do. This is going to be a Sunday till Saturday, so I'm excited. At the moment I am actually in the middle, well, a bit further than the middle of Behind the Net. I started this morning and I made a note of it on chapter, was it 6 or 9? I'll put it here, but it was page 30, and at the moment I have binged this book. At the moment I am on page 270, so I've read a lot today. I'm really enjoying it. Like there's an amount of like times of the book where I'm just like, guys stop it. Like I am physically blushing so much. So you don't need to wear blush, just read one of these books. Honestly, love it. So I've started to mood read. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that I used to do like TBRs for the month, and I hated it. I actually physically hated it. I want to get into books like if I'm fancying fantasy for a couple of days, I'll read fantasy. I feel like I'm getting more joy out of actually reading when I choose what I'm reading. So that's what I'm doing. So that is what we're going to do this week, and I'm excited. I've got a lot of books that I need to go through. I don't have a huge collection of books, but I do have probably like maybe 200 upstairs, like physical copies I'd say. But I counted how many books I need to read and it's like 67. It's the high end of the 60s, and I was like shocked. I was like, there's no way I have spent this much money on books that I haven't read. So I was a bit annoyed about that, so I'm trying to get through as many as possible. And yes, I know I just said that, and I know I'm reading a Kindle book, but some days it has to be done. But yeah, you're probably going to get a lot of shitty ass clippings with me throughout the week when it's dark and I've had a long day at work, but I'm reading, so enjoy. While I'm here, I'm just going to talk about this book for a second. So this book is about a hockey player. So I was never into like hockey players, and then I read a couple of hockey books, and oh my god, I want to go and watch a match. I am so excited. I'm obsessed with hockey players. Like I loved hockey in high school. I've got that aggressiveness to me where like I'm really like, once I'm in the game, I'm in the game. Like there is nothing to distract me. I am there. But I've never like looked into ice hockey. So I read one a while back, I cannot remember its name, I've got it upstairs. I adored the crap out of it, and then I saw this one and I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try. Basically Jamie is the guy and he's a like professional hockey player, and he needs an assistant because his life is a little bit hectic. So Pippa comes in, and obviously one thing leads to another. They're trying to fight it. They knew each other in high school, and yeah, that kind of cuteness. It's been going on for a while. Did you hear that? Jesus. It's been going on for a while, and it's the type of book that's making me like blush. Like my girly personality is coming out to play with this book, and it's just nice, really light-hearted. I am nearly 70% way through of it, and so far it is a top tier book. I am very enjoying it. I'm just at the end of chapter 62, and Jamie, the main guy, has just had a fight in the ring, and Pip is obviously in the crowd, and she's like, oh no, like what's going on? Like she's obviously nervous because obviously they're having a fight and there's blood everywhere, and you know what I mean, that type of stuff. Anyway, I just read this and I was like, I have to show you guys. So Like, he gives Pippa a nod and says, I'm okay. Like just imagine you're in an arena and like your loved one, the person you're in a relationship with, in a fight, like a fist fight, blood going everywhere, it's an aggressive fight, and you're like really nervous, and once he gets up and the fight stopped, he's covered in blood, sweat dripping, everything, and he looks onto you and he nods and he's like, I'm okay. The next day. I actually finished Behind the Net yesterday and I really enjoyed it, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit where spoilers will be involved, so I'll put a number here for when you can pop onto so you don't get the book ruined. But there's hardly been any like romances where I have read and they haven't had a fallout. So do you know when you get to like 80% of the book and you're kind of expecting the main two characters, to fall out? That didn't happen, and it was nice. Like usually like 8 out of 10 times their fallout is pathetic. It's so much so stupid where you think, you get so like annoyed at yourself, like rattled up at the fact that they've just fallen out. But this one didn't have that, and it was just so nice. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. Like, I honestly loved it, but it just didn't have that 5-star feeling for me. I honestly think it was the smut scenes. Like, the first couple, it was like hot, this was amazing, but then they kind of like repeated the same situations over and over again. And that, I think that's what didn't give me the 5-star feeling. But really good book, absolutely adored it. Go have a look if you haven't already. Love that. I've now moved on to Divine Rivals. I've taken the dust cover off just because I take it to work and it just gets ripped. But I started this book today in my lunch break. I only had an hour and I'm 26 pages in, and I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've tabbed it 8 times within 26 pages. I'm excited. I am so excited. It's been a couple of days since I last recorded. I haven't read a lot this week, so this is probably like the worst week for me to record on. But I am nearly finished with this book. I've got like that little tiny amount done. But because there's another book coming and everyone was like raving about this, I've got a feeling the last part of the book is going to be amazing. So before I finish this book, I wanted to like catch up with you guys, talk about the book a little bit, and then record like hopefully catch a good response to the ending. So far, I would rate this book 10 out of 10. I can find nothing wrong with it. The writing style, the way the storyline is split out, there's a little bit of everything in there. Like, this book is so good so far. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting, I'm not even at the end. but I was not expecting that. I'm really surprised I didn't even think of that. Oh my god. So I kind of envisioned that ending probably like halfway to 3/4 around through the book, but it's not totally like 100% what I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit different. And yes, it left off at a cliffhanger, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be on the same level as Fourth Wing, and if you've read Fourth Wing, you know about that shit. I know, like, yes, I'm excited for the second book. Like, this book, I'm probably going to rate it a 5 out of 5. But with books, I've started to not rate them straight away because obviously I'm enjoying the ending and it's not normally exciting and you get on that hype. So I usually wait like a day or two to like brew on the story, to think of it a little bit more, and then decide. There's so many books on Goodreads where I'd say rate it 5 star, and when I go back to it, I'm like, nah, that's a 4 star, so on and so on. But I cannot think of anything wrong with this book. Like, honestly, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and this sticky notes is hilarious. I've never used this many sticky notes in my entire existence, and yeah, I've had to refill on multiple colours. Like that one, I've got 2 left. That one, I've got 2 left. I've already refilled on that one. That one, I've refilled twice on. So, that's funny. But I've been reading this book for so many nights now. I know what to do myself. Do you know what I mean?